What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and yes, you saw the title of today's video. I've got a lot to talk about. So first of all, we're going to cover a few updates on the cars. The Mercedes is doing just fine, absolutely reliable and remarkable, as a Mercedes-Benz should be, so no news there really. The Ford is back, and I have good news on this car. It's not a lemon. I drove this a couple weeks ago to work every day because my car is, well, no news is good news with this car, unfortunately, as of late. Anyway, it'll be good news in the future, but back to this car. I drove it to work every day for 3 days 2 weeks ago because I had 2 days off from work, and the check engine light never came back. Everything was smooth. It didn't drive crappy, nothing like that. So all it took was 3 dealership visits to fix the problem, but it's finally fixed. It's no longer acting like a lemon. It is not a lemon, so we won't have to lemon law it because that's a crazy mess. But anyway, as I've said earlier, no news is good news with the Mousemobile because it needs a new clutch. Yep. I was hoping it wasn't going to need a new clutch, but like I said, it did have a good run, almost 95,000 miles worth. Plus, when you consider all the burnouts I did in launch controls a few years ago, well, that's the price I pay to drive aggressively. I thankfully don't do that anymore, at least not as much, but yeah, I need a new clutch, because what's happening is, like I described in a previous video, the clutch pedal sometimes makes weird noises. Sometimes it wouldn't let me push it down all the way, and when it's super cold and I shift the gears, it sometimes feels like the clutch isn't fully disengaged, but I had the pedal to the floor, so that proved otherwise. So it was really weird, but as of late, the clutch pedal has not made a single weird noise when I pressed it. So I'm not really sure. Is this car playing tricks on me? Does it need a new clutch? Does it not need a new clutch? But I have noticed one other thing with the clutch pedal. There's a little bit of play from when you first press on the pedal before you actually start disengaging the clutch. And normally that is a sign of wear and tear. But either way, the car is booked for a visit to a different shop than the one I normally go to next Tuesday. So next Tuesday, this car is going to a new shop. They quoted me $1,700 to do the clutch. That's including labor and everything. The shop I normally go to quoted me nearly $2,000 to do the clutch. And I was like thinking to myself, okay, I am not paying $2,000 for a clutch. So yeah, I mean, $1,700 is expensive too. I was hoping for under $1,500, but whatever. I mean, like I said, price I pay to drive aggressively, and theoretically, I shouldn't need to put another new clutch in this car after I do this. Of course, I've also got the 100,000 mile service I got to worry about later this year, so that'll be fun. But like I said, if I get that out of the way, I shouldn't have to worry about most of the things they do with the 100,000 mile service again, assuming I sell the car before 200,000 miles. But yeah, as far as future plans for the Mousemobile, I'm not going to do anything crazy with it. No supercharger, no E85 tune, nothing, because that can cost thousands of dollars. And plus, speaking of which, the more power you tack on, the more powerful mods you need. Like, you need a better clutch that can withstand that kind of power, because if you do 400 horsepower in a car that was originally for 205 on a stock clutch, you're going to burn it out like there's no tomorrow. So yep, sticking with a stock factory clutch as the replacement, not doing any supercharging or anything crazy like that, like I had already said. What I am going to do this week, though, is this Tuesday, I'm going to swap the wheels back to summer. So these are going into storage. I will say I am going to miss that look until next winter, though, and these Hakkapeliitas are wearing quite well. I will probably do a review video on the Hakkapeliittas sometime tomorrow because, well, these are a brand new tire and not too many people are talking about them. So I want to be able to exploit that as much as possible so that way I can get all the views and I can get all the money from ad revenue just from talking about how awesome these tires are. Same deal with the Cross Climate 2s, but thing is, I meant to make a video about them last year. I never did. Ran out of time. We haven't had much snow this year, and a lot of people have made videos with these tires, so it might be hard to get views with those tires, but I'll see what I can do. But in the meantime, the focus is going to be on the Hakkapeliittas, specifically the R5s. I don't know if you can... Okay, it's hard to see, but it's down there in the dark, in the shadow, as opposed to in the light. And yeah, the sidewall is kind of hard to read, and I'm going to blame that on the fact that it's a little dirty. But anyway, like I've been alluding to for a while now, this is going to be the last season on these winter tires for the Mercedes. They are over 5 years old, if you can already believe that. We've had them in service for 3 years. As you remember, these tires were 2 years old exactly out of the box in January of 2020. So, yep. We'll be getting the Hakkapeliitta R5 SUV for this car. We're sticking with the same wheels because, let's be honest, new wheels are expensive. I only replaced mine because my old winter wheels were giving me a safety issue. The car would pull to the right, I believe, whenever I accelerated with that broken wheel in the front. Well, not broken, but bent, I should say. But yeah, they found that problem when they changed these tires, because I changed the tires because I thought the tires were causing that, but it was really the wheels. So I'm not necessarily sure I wasted my money because I did trade these in and I wanted these tires so I could make videos with them. But yeah, such is life. I feel like I've been spending a lot of money on this car lately, and a new clutch is only going to add to that list of things I've spent money on. New winter tires, new winter wheels, new suspension setup, and I had to go with a racing one because the stock parts weren't available. I had to add camber arms for the rear to correct the crazy rear camber. Well, not too crazy, but yeah, it was noticeable. And now the clutch is going bad. Oh well. Such is life. But anyway, on that bombshell, I remember talking about how I was going to rent a Lamborghini Aventador for a day in Beverly Hills. That's right, I'm going to Beverly Hills this spring break in the last week of March, going into the first week of April. Unfortunately, I am going to have to cancel plans for renting a Lamborghini Aventador simply because my car needs a new clutch, and the cost to replace the clutch is around the same budget as the Lamborghini rental. But hey, I mean, I was just thinking to myself, do I really want to do this? Aside from the fact that my car needs a new clutch, I was thinking to myself, do I really want to rent a Lamborghini Aventador? Because if I do, I feel like I'm going to want to do that every time I go, and then I'm going to just be spending money out the wazoo. So yeah, not something I really want to get addicted to per se. But yeah, it's one of those things where you got to control yourself when you're in shoes like this, because obviously I have the money to do it, but if I keep doing it, I'm not going to have money, and I'd rather invest that money for the future, because I've already put in $10,000 into 2 separate CDs, so $5,000 each. I also put in the maximum amount per year into a Roth IRA, and I've been doing treasury bonds, so the investments are looking pretty good, and that's why I'm having to make these decisions, because obviously I have a lot of expenses, but I also make a lot of investments to make up for the expenses, if you can even think of it that way. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm probably, yeah, I mean, I probably will rent a Lamborghini Aventador in Beverly Hills one of these years, just not this year. And if I do it, I got to promise myself I'm only going to do that one time. And even if I never do it, it's not like I don't drive supercars every year, because in July, I go to Autobahn Country Club and drive supercars on a track with an event known as Extreme Experience, or a group, I should say. They host the event, and then I get to drive supercars. Now, the cost of driving those supercars for 3 laps on a track where you're not governed by any traffic laws, speed limits, anything like that, is far less than what it costs to rent one and be governed by all those traffic laws and potentially receive a speeding citation, for example. So, yeah, I mean, despite the fact that there are no Lamborghini Aventadors with Extreme Experience, they do have the Huracan, and the Huracan does drive better. So, really, I'm not too disappointed. But the one thing I will say they could do better is they should let drivers choose whatever drive mode they want to drive in. Like, I really think that if a car is going to be on a racetrack, it should be in Corsa mode or track mode, whatever it's called, or race mode. So Ferrari calls it race mode, McLaren has track mode, and then Lamborghini has Corsa, as we all know. I have gotten away with driving one Lamborghini, and it was the Huracan Evo in sport mode with Extreme Experience, because I got a super nice instructor. He let me do sport mode. I couldn't have thanked him enough. It was so awesome. The exhaust sounded amazing. Hopefully I get to do it again this year, but no guarantees I will be able to switch the drive modes. But yes, I will be driving a Huracan again like I do every year, and I will get it on video. I still have yet to upload the 2022 Extreme Experience footage, so I got to get to that. I also got to get Power Director for PC so I can edit those videos. So yeah, I got a lot to do, but, well, the grind never stops when you're a YouTuber, and like I've said, I like to invest my money and so that I can have money for the future, because I care about my future. It's not that I do a whole bunch of crazy spending. Well, sometimes I do, mainly because I don't have a choice, but I do more investing than I do spending, let's put it that way. As far as other things go this year, SirenCon 2023, I'm very excited for that. However, there is a caveat, and that caveat is I have to be there the same day as my last day of work this year. So, last day of work, I'm going to be clocking out of work, then going to dinner, and then driving straight to Rhinelander after dinner. So I have to make things timely as possible, because I'm probably going to get to the hotel somewhere around 11 p.m. to midnight. Which is fine. I mean, yeah, I'll be super tired, but at least I'll get good sleep, right? Yeah, hopefully. But anyway, on that note, there has been an important update to the SirenCon event. For any of you Siren enthusiasts watching this video, I would highly recommend you check out Josh's channel. He uploaded an important update on the SirenCon event. It's Bear Loves Socks. At least that's the end of his username. It's a really long username that I kind of forgot, but at least I know his channel just from looking up Bear Loves Socks on YouTube. So that update, I'm going to summarize it for you in a little bit. Basically, there is now a registration form. So there was the RSVP, and now there's a registration form. And in that registration form, it says you should only fill it out if you are 100% certain you are going to be there. And there's also a fee for the registration. Now, this fee is going to be flexible because it can be any amount of your choosing. And this amount is donated directly to the SirenCon event to fund for the expenses. You know, food and fuel for the generator, for example, and other expenses that I may not be aware of. But, yeah, SirenCon has been an amazing event so far, and it only continues to get better. So I donated a pretty good amount. I'm not going to disclose how much in this video. I don't feel like that's appropriate. But I really want to see this go on for years to come. So I understand why they had to impose a fee. Totally get it. You know, I remember back in 2014, I was trying to sign up for Siren Meet 2015 in Oklahoma, which obviously never happened. It got canceled. I remember we had to pay a fuel surcharge, so for generator fuel to run the sirens. But yeah, that event never happened. It got canceled, and I was honestly at a loss for words. But anyway, back to the present. I don't want to talk about that too much because I remember back in 2014, 2015, my life was miserable, especially in the siren community. But yeah, I don't want to ramble on about that too much. So back to today. SirenCon 2023, check out Josh's channel, watch the video in full length, do whatever you need to do to get prepared, book a hotel or whatever you need to do. So if you're booking a hotel, book it now because prices are going up, hotel rooms are filling up, and also if you don't plan on staying in a hotel, you have to contact Josh and tell him you will be staying on the campsite. So it's super important that you do this in a timely manner because I'm pretty sure there will be a registration deadline sometime in May. I'm not 100% on this, so don't quote me on it. But yeah, I just thought I'd update you on that. And one last thing, this is unrelated to anything else, but later in June, I'm going to be undergoing LASIK eye surgery. And this is going to be expensive, it's going to be painful, but it'll be well worth it because I will no longer have to wear glasses ever again. Because let's be honest, I really hate wearing glasses. I hate wearing a mask and glasses because sometimes the glasses fog up. It's been very annoying and tiresome to me. So, well, and LASIK is something I've wanted to do for years. I've waited years to do it, and now I can finally do it. And I have the money to do it, and I will do it, and I'm just rambling on like a crazy person at this point. But anyway, yeah, so that's what I was saying. This is the kind of stuff that's putting me in a crazy financial situation because I'm having to put a new clutch in that. LASIK eye surgery is going to be thousands of dollars, but at least I get a slight discount on it. So hopefully they will honor that. And then obviously, like I said, the Lamborghini rental, out of budget right now, or, well, I mean, technically it's not, but I'm going to say no to it right now because I don't want to be blowing money like crazy, and I don't want to feel like I'm blowing money like crazy. So, yep. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know I rambled on a little bit about certain things too much, but anyway, thumbs up if you enjoyed. Peace out till next time.